Hello, everybody. Welcome back to X-Plane 11. Once again, we are going to be flying the Flight Factor A320 from Baltimore up to Boston today. Real-world conditions. We've got live traffic running in the background. Should make for an interesting flight. It's rainy, kind of stormy in the area of Baltimore. It should clear up a little bit as we get into Boston this evening. So, with that said, a little rusty with this airplane. I think I'm getting better at it. But there may be mistakes. I must reiterate this every time I fly a new airplane. I am not type rated in the airplane. I don't know everything about it. I'm really bad with an A320 in particular, but I'm getting a little bit better. Look at Southwest departing there. Very cool. We aren't flying a 737 today, so let's head up into the cockpit and get things underway for departure. All right, welcome aboard the A320. We have some raindrops hitting the windshield out there. Nothing too crazy. Passengers are boarding right now. We have the doors open, as you can see there on the door page. Let's go over here to the GMS. Oh, we already did that. We're going to be ready for the B4 start checklist. First things first, let's go to service. Let's make sure they remove those chocks. We are on the APU right now. Fuel is looking good. Let's go ahead and tell that fuel truck he can go bye-bye. We don't need him anymore. Passenger side of things, we are a full flight to Boston today. So we're going to go ahead and have them remove that. They'll close the door. I'm using the BSS sound pack for this thing. It's a $20 sound edition. I love it. Absolutely love it. We're going to close these doors here, and you're going to hear a great sound. Those are the hydraulic sounds we're hearing there as they close those doors. Performance data is good. Checklist. Browser settings, states, map. Don't need any of that stuff. We're going to be just ready for the before start checklist. Once that door is closed, which it sounds like most of them are, and we have green lights there, we're going to double check everything down here. Everything looks good. We're at idle on the throttles. Fantastic. We have flight directors on. MCP panel. We're going to climb, maintain 21,000 feet on departure. That looks good to me. We've got our TARA. You would do that before you take off, but that's all right. No big deal. Let's go ahead and flip the beacon light on here. And we are going to plan our pushback. She's going to give the little spiel, and we'll get going here.
Captain, this Grace 9, Assistant Director's Officer Leon Gray. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate a few minutes of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. And follow along with safety information card located in your seatbelt pocket. Be sure to put your mask on first before assisting others. We will let you know when it is no longer needed. We will now be passing through the cabin to ensure that we're ready for departure. You can better help us by making sure your seatbelt is securely fastened. Seat back is upright, tray table is up and locked and on. All right, tow connected. Let's go ahead and remove that parking brake. We're ready to push out of here. And we're going to go ahead and reach up here. And we're going to turn off our... Let's make sure seatbelt signs are on all the way there before we leave. They're in auto mode, but they'll still be illuminated. That's fine. As far as that goes, dome lights, we're going to go ahead and turn those guys off. And we are pushing. We're clear to start the engines. We'll start with engine 2 first. So to do that, basically, we're just going to come over here. We're going to put this into the start position. And let's just do our before start checklist. Fueling's good. Chocks, all that's good. We did all that. APU bleed is on. Doors, beacon's good. Doors were closed. Here we go. Push back and engine start. Push and steer. We're good with that. Push and start clearance. Ground communications done. Right side, verify cleared. Pedestal's good, good, good. Yep, that's all we got to do. So we put it to start mode, and it's all automated. So now we just flip engine 2, and we are good to go. We can just listen to her come to life. All right, that's a good start on engine 2. Let's go ahead and fire up engine number 1.
right, that's 2 good starts. Let's go ahead and do our after start checklist. Engine and wing anti-ice is required. APU bleed goes to the off position. APU master will go off. So we'll turn off the APU bleed first. And we saw the lights little flicker there. Master switch comes off and we are no longer on the APU. So that's good to go. Pedestal pitch trim, we want to set that to 0.4. Let's go ahead and make sure we do that. That's probably good about right there. That's up 0.4. We've got engine mode selector as required. We're going to put that over to crank for our departure. And we will move on to spoilers. We'll arm those guys right there. Pull that up. There we go. Those are good. Flaps are going to come down to 1. So let's go ahead and set those now. Here they go down. 1F. They're in transit. Rudder trim is set 0. Yes, it is. ECAM flight controls. Let's go ahead and do our flight controls test. That's going to be right over here. FCTL there. We've got left and neutral. Gotta move that rudder first, and then it just, there we go. Okay, so left, neutral, got right, neutral, forward, neutral, back, neutral. We have a side stick here, and then we have the rudder down here. We go right, rudder, yep, that's good. Left rudder, we'll extend it all the way on that one. That looks good to me. Flight controls are free, and they are correct. ECAM door page, we go to the door page here. That's going to be right here. And we have green all the way across the board. That looks good to me. ECAM status is checked. And hand signals have been received. We are ready to taxi on out of here to runway 15 right. Make a right turn out of here. And we'll be on our way. Let's go ahead and put this thing to taxi right there. Release the parking brake. And we'll go head over to 15 right. It's just barely sprinkling. We don't need anything too crazy here, but I can show you how the wiper systems work here in the airplane. That's high there. We've got slow, and it actually does move the water away. Look at that, isn't that cool? And then we can stow them. We'll probably use it on our takeoff, but we don't need them right now. We're gonna make a right turn here. We go around the southwest terminal, and we'll be down at runway 15 right. All right, as we taxi down here, I can show you our flight plan today. We go into plan mode. I've already stepped through all of it on my end, but I will show you here what we're doing. We're going to be departing right here, and we're heading directly out there to Swan intersection. We're doing the Swan 3 departure. Then we go to Bros, go to Oscar Delta. We go to Romeo Bravo Victor, top of climb, and then JFK right there. Juliet Foxtrot Kilo, that's in New York. Top of descent, we after that, we did the Roebuck 3 arrival into Boston. Roebuck's right there. We go to Pravi, Jati, on into all these guys. Cradle, Kleb, as you can see there. Trying to do all this while we're taxiing here, kind of a pain in the ass. And then we come around there at Patrick, and then Wayne, and then into 22 left at Boston is what we're doing. I don't know what the hell this thing's doing. Acting strange, that's what it's doing, I'll tell you that right now. Let's go back up here to our departure to Swan. There we go. So it all checks out, looks good to me. We're gonna be ready for takeoff up here, so let's go ahead and do our before takeoff checklist. That's gonna be a pedestal, TCAS, TARA, tilt above is checked, engine mode selector is on crank, ECAM brake temps. We want to check the temps of the brakes to make sure they're looking good here. You click on wheel here to bring up those, and brake temps are right there, looking great across the board. I love it. All right, those are good. Brake fans are off, sliding table stowed. We do have a sliding table here in the middle, as you can see right there, and we're going to stow that sucker, which it already is. Takeoff line of clearance we obtained, and exterior lights will be next. So we can go ahead and get ready for that. All we gotta do is just turn on our runway turnoff. It goes to on. Landing lights come on as well. Strobe lights come on, wing light on. We are ready for takeoff. Let's do it.
Approaching 1-5 right.
We are using live traffic, so we're going to go ahead and line up and wait here on 1-5 right. Make sure nobody's landing on the right, which somebody is landing out there on the cross runway. We're going to wait for that. Don't mind the weird looking airplanes at Lockheed Martin there. We're not going to talk about those. All right, lining up here ever so nicely.
On runway 15 right.
Yes, we are. Let's come to a stop right here. And we're going to wait for that airplane to land and clear the runway before we continue on here. Let's go ahead and just hold the park brake down there for now. He's out there a little ways. Yeah, he's right there. You can see him coming in. We're going to wait for him to clear, and then we'll be out of here. All right, while we're all lined up here on 15 right, waiting, I did change our QNH, which is our altimeter setting to 2964 to the local. Winds are 140 at 9 knots, waiting for him to cross downfield. Once he crosses 15 right there, we will be ready for takeoff. So just a few more moments here, and we'll be on our way. And with this airplane, it's not like a Boeing. The auto throttle system will automatically engage when we turn it on. We're going to go to 2 clicks. As you can see down here, we're going to go from 0 to flex MCT there. So we're going to go to flex. Are you down yet? Have you passed? Nope, not yet. All right, sometimes you get some weird quirks with live traffic. They disappeared, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and rock and roll. We're going to bring the throttles up a little bit here, let them stabilize. Those look good. We're going to go to the first click. There it is. And then we're going to go to Man Flex 45 right there. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots. That is cross-checked there. Got up on our V1 here at 141. There's V1, and we rotate. Just ever so slightly back pressure on the back here. She comes right off the ground. Positive brake, gear up. Airplane's feeling the nav already. We're going to be doing a left turn on our departure here towards Swan. So let's wait for it. And it's coming up here. There's the turn. I love the fly-by-wire system. Still going to be manually handling the airplane right now. Once we complete our turn, we'll be pretty good here. We can bring in those flaps in. There we go. We're going to lever to climb, so pull it back till it's in climb mode. There it is right there. Climb mode's engaged. Still got nav looking good on the PFD. There's a good intercept heading here. Bring those flaps in. Roll the airplane off. Still hand flying it right now. We're going to go to autopilot system here in a second. Start that turn to the right. In IMC conditions right now, I'll tell you that. Which is fun. Okay, we'll roll off the airplane here. Looking good towards Swan. Following that line. Airplane's at its acceleration. It should be in a decel right now. I don't know why it's not doing that. It should be. Let's go ahead and go autopilot system on. Airplane's going to track nav and climb. Well, I think it's speeding a little bit here. It should be holding 250 under 10,000. I don't know why it's doing that. Looks like it's trying to go back down now, from what I can tell. All right, let's clean up the airplane up here. We've got the runway turn off light comes off. This nose light goes to off. And we are good on our climb out of Baltimore. We can bring out the range here a little bit. You can see Swan out there and Bross. Okay, the airplane's, it's holding 250 now. Got a little quick there, but I think it's because of the tailwind. If ATC talked to us, we'd be like, oh, we had a tailwind. So That's why we're going so fast. We're doing 287 over the ground. 6,200. After 10,000 feet, we will go ahead and start the lights being switched off. Spoilers go to disarmed. Let's go ahead and disarm that guy. All right. Engine mode selector goes as required. We can just go ahead and put him to norm right now. Taxi lights off. Engine wing anti-ice is required. Pack 1 and 2 are on. It's a dark cockpit, so we should have no lights. And you can see here the packs are black and they're good. Same thing with the pumps up here, fuel pumps. When they're black like that, that means that they're on and they're good. Hey, we broke through the clouds. Look at that. Climbing out of Baltimore. We're above 10,000 feet. Lane lights are off. What else we got going on up here? We've got wing light. That can come off now. Strobes are good. Navs are all good. We're just double checking everything over the overhead panel, and it looks fantastic to me. Dome light is off. The light's on bright right now for the annunciator lights. I like that. It's kind of up to whatever you want there, but we're looking pretty here. We can put this back to engine or whatever we want to here in the middle. One thing I can't get working is the weather radar. I know it has a working weather radar system, but I don't know, ever since the update that I installed for this, I have not been able to get it to work. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't. We're above the clouds, almost to B Ross here, and then we start that left turn and look all the way out to Oscar Delta, Romeo Bravo Victor, and then there's JFK out there in New York. And 58 minutes in flight today. We're a little late on hitting our ET, but it is on right now, and we'll be checking on that. $18,000 feet right there. We're going to pull that to standard, and we have it right there. Looking good. We're well above the clouds and the sunlight, and we're on our way up to flight level 210. Flight level 330 today, so let's go ahead and clear ourselves all the way to 330. That looks good right there. And we can see our progress here all the way out there. Check that out. We're at 28,300 feet, climbing still to flight level 330. We have a direct tailwind of 61 knots, doing 520 over the ground right now. You see our top of climb is coming up here very shortly. And we're not going to be in cruise very long. We're just going to kind of cruise right over New York, and we'll start descent right after that. And that's due to the 60 knot tailwind that we have. So I'm really happy to have that. It cuts our flight time down. It's beautiful up here above the clouds. And so far, no problems. All right, we have reached our cruising altitude of 33,000 feet. Let's go ahead and let them know they can move around the cabin. Seatbelt sign off. And we are in altitude cruise mode. That is selected. That looks good. We're just about over downtown New York. Not sure if we're going to be able to see it from here today because of the cloud cover, but it looks like we might be able to see a little bit. Who knows? We're 55 miles to the top of descent here, so let's go ahead and look at our flight plan and see what we have on the arrival for our altitude for VNAV to work. Well, it's not, it's managed mode. We won't call it VNAV in this airplane. Roebuck, Pravi, all that's there. Yep. So they're 16, they're 4, they're 12, they're 10, 10, 10, looks like 8. And they hold about 8 there. Too steep a path right there. Okay, well, it's updating that. So 8,000 there. Stu, what are you doing? Too steep a path. It's just like flashing on here for some reason. Well, looks like they're going to hold at 5,000 there for a little while. So we'll actually just initially descend down to 5,000 feet. So we just roll this back to 5,000. If it's too steep a path, we're going to have to use some speed brake today. That's probably what's going to happen here. But once we get closer, we're going to actually start our descent a little early. We're going to start right around 30 nautical miles out. We're 47 now, and that should help out with that. And to start the airplane down, we're just going to pull this knob out, and that will start the descent into Boston. As you can see, waiting on that to come down to about 30. Once it's at 30, we'll start our descent. All right, we're 34 nautical miles out. Let's go ahead and pull that sucker out like this. And there we go. We are in open descent mode, and the throttles have gone to idle. We have started our initial descent into Boston. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt signs back on. And we are now in our descent. We're going to keep an eye on the speed. I think we'll be okay for the most part. But if we have to, we'll pull the speed brakes out, and we'll help this baby slow down, especially with the the steep path problem. So enter destination data they're talking about. We need to do that. So let's come over here to the first officer's side of things, and we will do exactly that. Going to be on the next here, close him out. We need to go to our progress page, and we need to go to performance next phase. There it is right there. So next phase is approach, and altimeter there is 2976. So we're going to go 2976 and in the box right there. Temperature is 14 degrees Celsius, so we'll put 14 in there. Winds are 22022. Gonna be gusty coming in there as usual. It's Boston at 22. There we go. Decision height, we'll just throw 200 in there. I'm not really sure what it is for that runway. We're at a full flap setting of 153. So we're gonna put 153 on VAP. So 153 goes right in there. There we go. And now we are good on our arrival into Boston. Not bad at all. Airplane is descending. We're at 30,400. Looking good. Pre-descent ATIS has been obtained. McDo is good. Now accuracy is good. Auto brake, we're going to set those. We'll put them on low. We have plenty of runway there in Boston. Seatbelt sign is on. Anti-ice is required. Approach checklist will be next. Sliding tables will be stowed. External lights will be on. And that's going to be once we get closer to 10,000 feet. All right, so I decided to change the altitude to 10,000 feet in the plan here. Because it's going to be 10,000 feet right there at cradle. We're going to try to make that in time. We're below 18,000 feet. We can pull this guy or push him back in for QNH at 29er. Going to be 7.7 in Boston. So let's go ahead and move that to 7.7. right there. That'll work just fine. So that's looking good. We're going to be cradle at 10,000 feet, and we'll just make sure the airplane doesn't descend below that. That'll work out just fine. You can see it right there, the little arrow. But looking all right so far. Getting into Boston. The sun is going down, and the clouds look like they're clearing out a little bit, but it is cloudy. Winds are showing 210 at 204 now, but winds are 210. Oh, I just said that. Clouds are broken at 3,500, broken at 14,000. So should be quite a few clouds on the way in, but we'll break well below that layer that's at 3,500, and we're going to shoot the ILS still for 22 left. We're just over Roebuck now, almost to Pravi. I did want to let you guys know the reason why my upload schedule's been a little later in the day than normal is because of the puppy. We got that new puppy, and he requires a lot of attention. So my workday's been a little later in the day, and that's why the videos have been rolling out a little later than 10 a.m., which I tried to get to as of recent, but I think that'll change here pretty soon, to be perfectly honest with you. Looking good. Cradle's still showing 10,000. Yes, not bad at all. Haven't had to use any speed brakes, and we're looking good. We had that Southwest 737 crossing underneath us, so yes, that does go to say that the live traffic does have airplanes up at cruise altitude. I did a flight the other day, and I came across a Air Wisconsin airplane up at a pretty high altitude, actually. All right, we're at 10,000 feet. Landing lights are on, and we are doing our thing here. We got our sliding table stowed. Exterior lights are on. Seatbelt sign. We're going to make sure that that guy is verified on, and it is. Landing system's going to be pushed, so we want to do the landing system on both sides for the ILS. There we go. Those look good. We have the IBOS there, 110.3. Looking good. 30 nautical miles out. Pressurization, we're going to double check that, make sure we're in the good, no red lights or anything like that, nothing scary. Yep, that looks good to me. ECAM status, we checked it, we're good to go. All right, fantastic. Next is going to be the landing phase, and not too long of a approach here. It kind of just teardrops on in. Remember, we want to maintain 10,000 to cradle. That is a restriction, as you can see here. That we're doing. Nope, they dropped it down, so 8,000 is going to be at Kleb. This is going to be our next one. So let's go ahead and descend down to 8,000 here in a minute. But we're going to wait and see what the navigation's telling us here as far as altitude. I don't want to descend too early, too fast, if you know what I mean. We're just about over cradle. We're going to go ahead down to 8,000 feet here, and we're going to pull that out here in a second. We're just going to wait till we get a little bit closer here, and we want to cross Kleb at 8,000 feet. So that is the plan of action here. We're just kind of just sitting here at 250 knots, doing our thing, doing our business, and we're going to try to get sequenced in on 22 left. Looking good there. A little bit further, and I think that's going to be good. Let's go ahead and start our way down to Kleb at 8,000. So we'll pull that out, and airplane's in open descent mode. Throttles are at idle, and we are descending down towards Kleb. About to cross Kleb at 5,000. You can notice that the airplane's still in descent, so we're going to wait till it levels off at 8,000 here, and it just clicked back into speed and out. So now we can move it down to 5,000 is going to be the next one we're going to do. So we'll put it down into 5,000. It's in vertical speed mode right now. Let's see what we can do here. Let's go out. There we go. We're in open descent down to 5,000 now. We want to cross Ethan at 5,000. And that's exactly what we're doing. So we have Ethan at 5,000, 5,000. Wayne's going to be 3,500 right around there. So just keep an eye out on that. Descending down into the soup. I think we're going to be in IMC for a little while until we break out of the clouds. But like I said, clouds aren't going to be until about 3,500 feet. Let's do 3,500 next. There we go. And we'll pull it out now. It's giving me a too steep sometimes. It kind of pops up. So I want to make sure we're going to be well below that. So we're going to start a gradual descent down towards 3,500. And we should be good once we're there. We're going to hold at 3,500 until we make sure we're good. As we're over the ocean right now, and we are in some winds. Look at that. Wind right now is 47 knots off to our left. So it's bouncing us around quite a bit, as you can see. We are hitting some turbulence. Man, it is kicking our butt. You see the bay. There's downtown Boston right over there off to our left. That's the airport right there. Beautiful approach coming into Boston right now. But again, it's going to be gusty, windy, and crappy out. So just be ready for it. We're coming up on 3,500 feet right now, and let's have a look and see where we are looking. We got Patrick and Wayne there. Wayne is 3,500, so we're going to be good on that. Vocus is going to be 1,800, so Vocus will be the one we're going to want to hit at 1,800. So we're going to keep an eye on that so we can grab the ILS no problem. But as you can see, there's the bay right off our nose. And that sun's just about down, so we might have some lights. We may not. I don't know. We have auto brakes set to low. Let's go ahead and pull this guy up. So those are armed. And anything else for our arrival? We've got wing lights on, runway turn off. All that stuff will come on when we put the landing gear down. Everything else looks good to me. And landing's going to be when we're fully configured, so we don't have to worry about the landing checklist yet. Let's go down to 1,800. So we'll go down to 1,800. Right there, looks good. Pull that sucker out. So the airplane's in open descent down to 1,800 feet. And we're waiting to pick up the ILS approach. Let's go and switch this guy over to 10 nautical miles. We're almost over Wayne, whatever you want to call it. And we are looking pretty as of right now. Put our first setting to flap in. I'm going to help the airplane out here. Here we go. Flaps 1. All right, arm the localizer here. Try to pick it up. We have it right there, and the airplane has the localizer looking good. There's the glide slope right there. Arm the approach. Cat 3 single looking good. Cat 3 single on the right. Going down to 1,800. We're going to follow the glide slope now, and gear will come down as we have now captured that. Landing lights are on. We have runway turn off and taxi light to nose, or the nose light goes to takeoff, not taxi light. A lot of Boeing-isms out of me. All right, winds are still whipping around pretty bad. You can see our runway right there we're landing on. I don't see anybody on the approach path right now. We'll have to see. If there are airplanes, we're just going to ignore them. That's live traffic. It's cool to have the aesthetic of the airplanes, but, you know, you don't have to worry about it. We're not going to be going around or anything like that. So hopefully it all will work out just fine. We'll go ahead and go to our next state of flaps here in a minute. Remember, doing flaps full on this landing. But look at this wind, man, kicking our butt right now. I'll tell you that. We'll wait till we cross Vocus. Once we cross Vocus, we'll go ahead and go flaps 2 right now. Airplane is descending quite nicely. We can double check that because remember we had 1,800 set in there. And what's our missed approach altitude today? Going to be 3,000 to Winnie if we have to do that. So we'll go up to 3,000 feet here. Oop. There we go. That is set for that. Next setting of flaps come in next.
Windshear alert.
Okay. Flaps 3. We're gonna get windshear alerts. It's gonna be bumpy coming into here. I'll tell you that right now. I'm ready for it. And we'll go
Windshear.
Flaps full.
Windshear.
Hold on to her. We're good. Speed brakes are armed. Gear is down. 3 green. Auto brakes are on low. Keep an eye on the windshear.
Windshear. Windshear.
1,000.
1,000 feet. We're looking okay here. Let's go ahead and we'll take the auto throttles off. I have the airplane.
Windshear. Windshear.
I know.
Windshear.
Boost that power up a little bit here. Now let's go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. I do have the airplane. Manual control. Add a little bit of power here.
Approaching. 2 left.
That's the runway we want. A bit more power than that, man. This wind shear is crazy right now, I'll tell you that. And the fly-by-wire system is fly-by-wire system is
500.
awesome. You just kind of push the airplane in the direction you want it to go. It's a little high, so we'll bring that nose down. Man, they aren't kidding with this wind. This is going to be nuts coming in here. That ballooned like crazy. Wow.
400.
We're all right, though.
100 above. 300.
Still got it.
Minimum 200.
Landing. Speed looking okay here. Back up on the glide slope.
100.
Whoa, that's a crazy winds right there. We're going to throw the crab out with the left rudder right here over the runway.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Pull those
Retard.
back.
5.
Flare. And we are down. Reversers are out. Fly the nose wheel down. Whew, that wind was nuts. Kill those guys. Welcome to Boston, everybody. Yeah. We're right behind a JetBlue sitting over here. Well, a couple airplanes. Got a United and a JetBlue. I'm doing slow here. What I like about using the low auto brake system is, man, they don't get really hot in the brakes. We'll turn the fan on anyway to cool them down. Looks good to me. Master caution. We're set that. That's the auto throttle deal. We know that. But for the winds, not too bad of a landing. It was pretty crazy. Looks like he's just in a hold position over there, that airplane. I'm not gonna worry about him. We'll cross 22 right here. We're gonna make sure that the flight line's clear before we do that. So we'll just roll up to this. Let's go ahead and clear the airplane. Strobes come off. Lane lights are off. Runway turning off. Goes to taxi. APU master switch on. You'll hear it talking about JetBlue, but that's just because the BSS sound pack has that. And start APU. We'll hold short right here on 22 right.
After we have arrived at the gate, so we may better assist you. For updated information on connecting flight and baggage claim, you can check your approved monitors or download our free JetBlue mobile app. Next time.
Windshear, Windshear, Windshear.
Pull into the gate. Let's go ahead and go off on the nose lights. Everybody else is off. And we can just go straight into this guy right here. And we will park the airplane. There is the X right there. We're going to go ahead and go park and brake on like that. We can kill the engines. Make sure your APU bleed is on before we do that. Master's on. Sweet. Kill the engines. And now we can go ahead and hit the beacon to off. And we'll let them know they can get off the airplane. All right, folks, that is going to conclude our flight today. Hope you enjoyed it. It was definitely an interesting one, that's for certain. Not the best at flying the Airbus, but I am getting better. I think I am getting a little bit better. So I'm going to keep flying it, and we'll be able to shuffle at least between this and Boeing and whatnot, so we're not flying the same airplane over and over again. Even though I love the Zebo, that's why I fly it so much. But that'll do it, guys. I will see you all next time. Take care. By the way, in the replay modes, there is no sound on this airplane. I really sucks that is the case, but that's just the way it is. We were an hour and 2 minutes gate to gate, or from our departure to gate, so 58 minutes in flight time. We were right on time. How about that? See you guys next time. Take care.